just fallen sick or like ill out of nowhere, and you're just not the one to usually like, get sick or catch these bugs or these viruses or that like seasonal cold or something like that. Well, I'm one of those people, and I recently had an experience, and so it was a telltale sign to me that we needed to talk about it. Let's go. Okay, so a little bit of story time. So about a week ago, I started having these weird symptoms, like my stomach was not right, and I am not one to fall sick. Like every now and then I'll have some allergy type stuff. But like actually being sick and like laying in the bed all day because I don't feel good is not normal for me. So about a week ago, I had these weird symptoms that popped up. And so I went to bed like normal. I actually even took, something told me to take a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, like mixed in some water, to just kind of like balance my gut out because things just weren't feeling all that normal. And so I went to sleep and woke up about like, it was almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and had this weird feeling in my stomach and had to go and run to the bathroom and like, what happened, all the things and stuff. And so I lay back down, and so that it started. And for about 24 hours, I felt like shit. Like it was a mixture, and I was sore from working out, which doesn't help, right? Because I have experienced like soreness from working out, and I'm convinced I'm getting sick because I'm just that sore. But so I was sore from working out. I'm clearly not feeling well in my stomach and my gut, and I am just down, right? I thought it had something to do with something that I ate, but I don't believe that it had anything to do with that. Now, I did spend some time with my children, and both of them had experienced some kind of like funky stuff recently. And so I was like, okay, I probably, picked up something from them. And so then I'm like in this state of like not feeling well. So I'm laying in my bed, I'm to myself, I'm realizing, okay, I need to like be reflective. I need to, be in a receptive mode to hear what it is that the divine needs to tell me, because clearly the divine is like, you need to sit your ass down and take a break. And I really am super mindful about like running myself raggedy, especially at this point in my life. Like I really am not with that. So I am very mindful about like taking rest and taking breaks and all the different things, right? So I'm just thinking to myself, what is this about? Why am I down like this? Why do I feel so bad? Why am I purging, literally? Like I am purging, I'm both ways. Like it was crazy. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm just like asking the divine, like, what and why? Like, what is this? What do I need to know? Da 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 da. Like, tell me. And I am going to touch on about 5 different ways that I come to realize that we can be put on spiritual or physical and or timeouts when spirit is just like, sit down, listen, okay? Sit down and reflect, sit down and, do some work, right? You need to be internal right now. Spirit has a way of sitting us down, and that's what happened to me. So let's talk about 5 ways. The first one is reflection and growth. The divine can be prompting you to reassess your path, your beliefs and behaviors, assisting you to facilitate deeper understanding and evolution. So when you are being sat down, however that is for you, it doesn't always have to be, getting sick. Sometimes you can injure yourself. Sometimes, there's so many different things that can happen where you are being sat down. You're being sat down, right? And that can be for reflection and growth. It can be a time like Spirit is like, stop. I need you to stop. I need you to reflect. I need you to realize how fucking far you've come, how much work you've done, how much you've grown, right? Or it could be, hey, you really need to look at this again. You really need to reflect. You really need to see what you're missing here. Where else do you need to grow? Spirit has a way of sitting us down to tell us and remind us of things. Reflection, growth, okay? Number 2, breaking patterns. It could be time, your timeout could be a time to break habits, habitual patterns that may not be serving your highest good. So I can even say that this has happened to me where I've gotten sat down in a different type of way, and it's just like, okay, this pattern's not working anymore. Like, you feel like shit and you're trying to pretend like you don't, because maybe you are trying to appease someone else. You're trying to remain loyal to what you said you were going to do, but it's time to now shift. It's time to do something different. So another timeout, another reason for a timeout can be to change habitual patterns, like break patterns. It's time to change a cycle. It's time to do something different, okay? Number 3, cultivating patience and surrender. Whew, this one right here. Cultivating patience and surrender, okay? Timeouts can teach patience and the act of surrender, showing that not all situations can be controlled and rushed, helping you develop trust in the universe. So I feel like this one, all of them, right? But this one right here has really cultivated my relationship with the divine. It has really cultivated my ability to trust that what's for me is mine, and what's not for me will melt away, will leave, will exit, right? To trust that when it's time for me to have something, I'll have that thing, and I will have the highest expression of that thing. I will have the best version of that thing or that person, however that fits, right? Cultivating the patience to just sit and to just be and to not feel the need to force. And the reason I feel like, for me, transparent moment right now, I have shared before that my energetic makeup is more masculine and androgynous than anything else. Matter of fact, I don't think when it comes to my living soul profile, I don't have any. Oh, I do have one, like it's an increment progression of the soul conservator, but within my actual report, I do not have feminine energy, right? But I mean, of course, I incarnated as a woman and I'm in a feminine body and I embody feminine power. But my energetic makeup is very masculine and androgynous. So I naturally move in a way of like being very action oriented, being very like forthcoming, being very expressive, being very maybe even forceful in certain situations. I am one that's gonna get shit done, right? And I love that about myself. But when it comes to cultivating patience and surrender, to me, those are very feminine aspects where you go into yourself and you have to trust, right? There's nothing really to be done outside of yourself other than to watch the unfolding, right? To be a witness. And so I feel like my cultivation of trusting the universe and understanding that the universe has my back at all times, which that's a really good book, The Universe Always Had Your Back. I think it's by, I'll come up with it and put it in the description box. I think her name starts with a G. Anyways, yeah, this has just been pivotal for me in cultivating my trust in the universe and realizing that can't nobody do it better. if When I just trust and I let it be, nobody can do it better than the divine. And me following and co-creating with the divine and understanding that the divine is doing things on my behalf that I have no idea about. And that goes the same for you. Cultivate that patience. Be able to surrender to the divine and trust that the divine hears your prayers. The divine hears your desires, right? The divine hears your cries. And the divine is always listening and is always moving things and shifting things for your highest and greatest good. So when you can sit in the knowing of that, and you can sit deep in the knowing of that, and you can trust that, you will be so pleasantly surprised how things just unfold and how you receive intuition, how you take inspired action, not forced action. There's a difference, right? There's a flow, there's an ease to action as well, right? I am learning to cultivate and navigate my masculine and androgynous energies through my feminine power. So that's a really good one, juicy, and I am here for it. So number 4 is healing and rejuvenation. So timeouts can also provide an opportunity to heal parts of ourselves that have been neglected. So for women that are super masculine, right? And when I say masculine, a woman she doesn't have to be hard and tough and rough and, not wearing makeup and looking fine as fuck all the time to have and embody more masculine energy. This means just the way that she goes about things, right? So sometimes women who have more masculine energy in them don't really take a lot of time to heal, to rejuvenate, because they sometimes have this superwoman cape on of taking care of all the things, doing all the things, showing up all the places, and being the best at everything that they do, which doesn't leave any time for reflection, for healing, for rejuvenation, right? So sometimes you will be sat down so that you can heal, right? So you can heal yourself, so you can rejuvenate, so you can heal parts of yourself that you have completely ignored so that you can show up as Superwoman all over the place. And I've been there. I have been a homeschool mother. I have made baby food. I have nursed. I have run a business. I have done all that at one time. I've done CrossFit, all that at one time, and was a wife and running a household. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I never really took time out for myself. It wasn't naturally in me to do that. That was something that I had to cultivate. But one of the ways that I realized that it was time to cultivate that is when the divine would smack me upside my head and have me laying in the bed with a fever, which would never, which would rarely happen. But when it would happen, it would be such a shock to my system, my nervous system, to my physical body, to even my spirit, that it required me to heal parts of myself, to go internal and to be reflective and surrender, to be okay with the fact that, I have clients, like I have a full book of clients, like I have thousands of dollars to go and make, and here I am laying in the bed sick. I have a baby that needs to be breastfed, and here I am laying in the bed sick. I have a young child that needs to be taken to boxing, or needs to be going to the Boys and Girls Club, or needs, me to go over some work that he's doing, or making sure that his shit is in order, or whatever. And here I am laying in the bed sick. Surrendering to understanding that all is so well. And whatever falls the fuck apart, I can trust that the divine is going to pick it all back, put it all back together for me, right? So it's just this thing that happens when you are being put in timeout. When you're put in timeout, I highly advise you to do some reflection, do some growth, understand what's going on, ask Spirit what you need to know. The last thing that I have for you is physical upgrades and for spiritual alignment. So this one in particular is what I received a download on as to why I ended up with this 24-hour like funk where I was just in the bed. I felt horrible. Like chills and sweating, and it was crazy. Like, and I say that with so much drama because I rarely get sick, and so when I don't feel good, it's a big deal. Like, people around me are like, oh God, is she gonna die? So this physical upgrades for spiritual alignment. Timeouts are sometimes facilitated to physically upgrade our bodies to be in harmony with our spiritual evolution or higher self. So what this means is that, not to get super woo-woo or anything, but this is what it is. You understand, like, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Now, because I am so intentional in the way that I move and navigate my life, and for example, this YouTube channel, there's no way I can come here, not me being who I am, there's no way I can show up and present this information and talk about the things that I talk about without going through my own stuff, right? So you've heard me talk about shifting your reality, manifesting, even timeline jumping, accessing higher timelines. Well, what happens is that you have your spirit, you have your body, right? Your spirit is in your body. Your body is your meat suit, is your vessel for planet Earth, right? Now, you have desires, you have things that you want. Well, what'll happen is your spirit, your higher self, will already be there. Will already be on that higher vibrational timeline. Will already be that version of yourself that has the things, that has the experiences and all the different stuff that you've put into your vortex, all the things that you want. Well, your physical body, things here move a little bit slower, right? Because we're in a very dense reality, a very dense dimensional space. And so what happens is your body sometimes has to go through upgrades in order to align with your spirit. And I came to realize in my time down, I asked Spirit, what is this? What are we doing here? Like, why am I laying in this bed feeling like death? Like, what's up? And that's what I got, was like, you're having to upgrade. I'm having to sit you down so that you can purge and you can cleanse things out. And not only was I physically purging, I was literally like purging low vibrational frequencies. I was purging thoughts. I was purging old versions and existences, old versions of myself, old realities, things that just can't go with me. Like, I had to shed some things. And even since then, like, my eating hasn't been the same. There's certain things that I was eating then I cannot eat anymore. And it's not that it makes me feel bad or it makes me feel sick. I'm just not in a vibrational space I'm not vibrating at the frequency of those things. I am vibrating higher. And so my body is requiring foods that vibrate higher, right? So sometimes your body has to go through an upgrade, right? You may receive downloads into your cellular system so that you can be in alignment with your spirit. One of the analogies that I like to use, so back a few months ago, I was experiencing some stuff and I was going through some things of my own. And I remember explaining to a sister of mine, I was like, I feel like I'm shifting, right? I'm shifting. Obviously, I'm shifting. But I feel like I'm in suspension right now. Like, there's a part of me that's already on this new timeline. There is a part of me that's still on an old timeline. And then there's this part of me that's just like suspended in the air, right? In between the leap. And what I resonated with the most out of those three positions was being suspended. And so what that meant to me was that I was integrating, right? I was integrating. So it's not so much, oh, I'm leaving all these other things behind. Some things, yeah, I'm leaving behind because I choose to, but some things I'm integrating to take me to the next place, to take me to the next space, to take me to the next place. So that's one of the analogies that I like to use when I think about, shifting. Sometimes you can be left in you can be in suspension. And it's just a part of the process. So that is that. I really felt called to talk about this because this is real. And a lot of people kind of chalk up, oh, girl, you just had a 24-hour bug. Okay, whatever. Like, if that's what you think, that's what you think. But I'm over here actually, I'm understanding what's going on within me, okay? I am one that likes to and have the ability to see things for more than what's actually being presented, right? So to me, that meant that it wasn't, a coincidence that I came down with something similar to what my daughter had, but her dad didn't come down with it, right? That wasn't a coincidence. That was needed for me. That was needed for me to understand what was going on for me in my journey, right? So nothing is happening by coincidence. So if you just tap in, spirit is always communicating with you. So that is what I have for you. That is my breakdown on the spiritual and physical timeouts and what that could possibly mean for you. Drop down in the comments below if this resonated with you, if you have ever experienced anything like this, if you found this to be helpful and insightful. Good vibes only. And don't forget, down in the description box below, you can get your Living Soul Profile Report. You can tap into me if you have any questions about it. Once you receive it, if you want better understanding and help with it, I am a Living Soul Profiler. I can help you dive into that and get into the meat of it all. But yeah, that is what I have for you. I thank you so much again for vibing out with me and my energy. My name is Amber and I'm the Empress here at Empress Expressions. And until next time, I send you peace, I send you light, and I send you love. Bye.